Greetings, Greg here again with another video helping you transform your business, helping you transform your life. In this video, we're going to take a look at all the amazing new features inside of Odoo 15. This is an exciting version of Odoo. I've never really been as excited about a release of Odoo as I have about this one. And so I really want you to go below, click like, click subscribe. I'm going to do everything I can to release new videos this upcoming year on Odoo 15 here on YouTube, and the really way I can do that is if I get those likes and subscribes and click that little notification button so you can get notified as well. I don't think there is a better business application platform. I've worked with it feels like nearly all of them. I used to have to work with all of these before Odoo, like SAP, Sage, ACH, Epicor, and Odoo came along, and here we are. And I really think Odoo really now outshines them all from top to bottom. I'm going to go through all these Odoo features. I really think, and I'm trying to make a definitive Odoo 15 feature guide here. So we're going to start, and I'm going to start going through them and get your cup of coffee, because there's quite a bit here, and I am going to try to put it all in just one video, go through some of these things. So we have in the sales application quite a few new features. One of them isn't now here. You can come here and mark favorites and pick your favorite applications just like this. And then you have a filter here that says favorites, and you can filter them out. And it is a simple little feature, but you can see and imagine that there's a lot of use for this. So next feature that I'm going to cover is that we can now have customer signatures on a sales order. It's pretty simple. You configure it in the settings, but once it's configured, you can come up here to customer preview, and if we scroll down, we will see a sign and pay feature right here, and then you can see this little draw. I can draw. I want to draw my signature. We all know my signature. But you can see you can auto and load signatures, and so you could type it out here, and it'll just give it a auto signature like that. That's whatever you type up here will become the signature, and accept and sign. So it's just a nice little feature like that. But yeah, it's not in a state to be signed yet. I haven't confirmed it, so it stopped you there. So you can see how that's actually a good thing, because we're not in a state where the signature's ready yet. But you get the idea. Nice little new feature. Next, we're going to see here that we have a new sales dashboard. We can come up here under reporting and say dashboard. And we'll notice if we come over here to the 14 version, I'm running these side by side, no dashboard. This nice new little sales dashboard gives you a lot of information. Obviously, depending upon what you're doing, your numbers are going to be different, but a nice new dashboard is definitely very welcome here in Odoo 15. Next, we're going to take a look at our unit of measure categories. Before, it wasn't like it was bad. We'll come back over here so we can see. Some of these, I want to do these side by side so you can see. But unit of measure categories look like this, and then you'd have to drill into or type the categories out here, and then you could look at actually unit of measures. And this was the view there. We'll notice that this is improved, where we have the categories here, and we can see all these unit of measures here. And it highlights the reference unit of measure in blue here. All right, next we're going to look at a feature where they've added new pills as an option for attributes in the display type. So we have display type. Previously, we had access to radio, select, and color. Pills is a new one. And so here's how it looks with radio. So notice how in our customizable desk here, where we're using the legs attribute, we can use these radios. Now, there's a pills option. You click pills, and notice here another really neat option that it could be overlooked is I didn't click edit first. I just clicked down in here and clicked on this, and then it came up and prompted to save. So that's another new feature in 15 is saving you a step. A lot of times we're getting used to that in websites and in the way we do things is that you edit and then you click save. If you want to save it, you don't need to explicitly tell a form you want to edit it. And so we'll have to see all the places where Odoo 15 is implementing that kind of thing. So, and there we go. So this is how it looks with the pills instead of the radio button. So hit install on this website builder here. And one of the most exciting things is we now have a website wizard. Are you ready to build the perfect website? We hit let's go. and we can pick what kind of website. It'll give us kind of a starting, so we could say a business website for my, and so we start typing, it's going to start filling in different things, and you can select here like a computer consultant, economic consultant. Like there's a lot of choices. So let's say boat builders. I've used those as an example before in some of my courses. Manufacturers' main objective is to, we'll say, inform customers. You get to pick palettes here and all the different things you want in the system. So, as your starting point. So if you needed a store locator or something for online events or news, all these things you can pick. E-learning. So you can see there's just a massive amount of stuff. We are going to do the e-commerce because I'm going to cover some fields, some things in there. And we click build website, and it's going to start creating a website for us. So I think, again, this just really takes Odoo to the next level, that you're actually able to pick themes based upon different content. They call it AI driven. I'd say it's probably, likely more expert system driven, like where those categories have certain expectations. But you can see right here, it has created us the boat builder site, and it's actually using pictures. You'll notice that there's a boat here with waves. And I could come in here and reposition this if I wanted, so I can get a little more of these boat things in there. And you got boat pictures here included as well. Let me apply that. So you can see that it's actually creating the type of site we want. And because I click shop here, or I clicked that we wanted shop added, that we actually have the shop included now. We don't have any products. Let's add one. Let's call it a life jacket for our boats, and create. And just like that, we've added a life jacket, and you can see it's got this nice new little revised image holder here. So that is their new AI, thing to create a website really fast from scratch. Obviously you could go through and experiment with all these different categories and things, and it's going to generate a new different kind of website with new pictures every time. So the nice thing that what makes me even more super excited about it is the direction it's going, and that we're seeing some real improvements on how you can create, like, from very quickly a website and content with placeholders and things like that, pushing things to the next level. And we can only hope that, as Odoo 16, 17, 18, that they'll build on this, and these designs are going to get smarter and better looking and have more features in them right out of the box, so that we can get to actually adding our own creative content as fast as possible. Very exciting feature. Next, we'll see a little cool feature called shapes on images. And so we come to an image in our editor, and we come down here and we have a shape thing now, and we can pick from all these different shapes that we might want to put behind it, and even animated one. Look at that. Isn't that something? I mean, how cool is that? And that's just one of all these just tons of options that you get. These are just different pages of them, and you'll notice some of them like that. It even kind of looks like a fish there, doesn't it? A little bit kind of going. So it actually says waves. So this I really am excited about. Just it's a simple feature, and you can notice here that you get to pick the colors of your shapes too. So just so we're clear that you get quite a bit of flexibility over this. A lot to play with here, going through these. I'm not one that's going to make you a tutorial to show each of those options. That's part of the experimentation, But you can see here, look at how many different, it even lets you change the colors here, and it's going to change the number of ones based upon the type of shape it is. So you can see, what I think should be exciting about this is it's not just that they've added this shape thing into it, but that it is almost like a framework behind it that you could foresee being able to even add additional shapes there if you needed. But there's a lot of stuff here to work with. So another very exciting feature. Notice there's now a donation one, and I can bring this donation one in, drop it in, and notice there's this donate now. And this is a really cool, powerful tool that lets you set up this. So notice how it's already got these things hooked in with these numbers. See, and this is going to tie in automatically, you know, to the back end e-commerce thing. So I can come over here and say that I want donate, you know, $10 for Odoo Quick Start video, $50. Odoo app for email, and so on. But you can put in whatever you want, and then you can add options. You can delete them. You can see that we have descriptions or not descriptions. It'll change these, whether or not it shows them, so you don't have to show them. You have the option for a custom amount with a slider. So you have this really cool slider here. And with minimum and maximum steps, you have the option for obviously the input or none. Also take a little peek at the Odoo's new e-commerce page. So the layout's a little bit different. They've have some new page layouts here. They also have a way to check this so that you can stay on this page after clicking add to cart. And then also you'll notice, I have Odoo here 15 up, and how this looks compared to Odoo 14. So notice how this is more of a vertical design here. This has gone to this. And then you also notice that we also have social links to share, and this will actually go out and let you share out to social media the product. You'll notice in Odoo 14 we're kind of lacking that piece there. So now there's also some really, one of the nice features, it just stacks on it. There's so many, and I'm trying to cover as many as I can. One of them also that's really, really big is gift cards. All right, so now we'll talk into some stuff where it goes into a little bit more of a point of a sale, apps, and those modules and how they're configured. Some of these things also are going to be, from sales order and then available now, that are now available in point of sale. So first thing we're going to look at are product gift cards. So now we can come up here in product gift cards. We can actually create a gift card, establish a code for it. So notice it gives us an automatic code for that gift card. We can put an additional amount on it, whichever it is, and save. And you'll notice that it has that balance. And this ties right into the point of sale system, so that when they buy, it will deduct here from the gift cards. And I did just want to show right here. There's where you click it. Then you can save. And now your coupon, promotion, and management stuff is now all inside a point of sale. Before, that was not even able to be pushed into point of sale. But that's a huge, big step forward to have all of these components now available in the point of sale system. With large point of sale systems, they have tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of products. It'd take a long time to boot up, and with customers, it would take a long, like if you had tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of customers, it takes a long time to boot up because it has to load them into the web browser, essentially. Limited partner loading. So here's the example. So I say limited partner loading, and then I can come down here and say load all remaining partners in the background. So it loads now only a limited number of customers at the opening of the point of sale system. And that's very powerful because you could have lots and lots of customers, and it's going to slow your system down. Likewise, we can come down a little further and we have limited product loading, and we can set it independently. So you can set limited product loading, you can set limited customer loading, and that is going to have a big impact on the systems that have lots and lots of products and lots of customers. In fact, it could make the difference between you having a deployable solution that actually works pretty well for you and literally not be able to use Odoo in that specific environment without a feature like this. Another nice new option is this ship later option. You click on the ship later, and it shows the warehouse, and there's a shipping policy as always. But this basically means that it's delay the shipping, set that up, and so nice new little simple feature. It's going to make things a little bit later, and it ties into point of sale. I mean, that's the thing, that this is in point of sale. What this means is you can sell someone in a point of sale, and there's a lot of times where people can't take the product with them, and you want to ship it. And before, that was a lot of retraining. I have shown people how to do that. Kind of in the back end of Odoo now, this can be done from in the point of sale. So just remembering that that's what makes this option particularly valuable, is that it's done from the point of sale side of things. A few other ones we'll hit here quick are customer notes. So we can add notes on order lines to be printed on the receipt. So actually on the order line, which is kind of a nice thing like that. We also have the show checkout through a second display. So another huge feature that, in and of itself, just having that added as an upgrade would be a big, but when you combine it with the gift cards and the loyalty programs and all these other things, it just really starts to add up to a lot of great features. There's also a detailed information card that comes up now as well. That you can set, that will give a lot more information about the product and its availability and things like that. We got this multi-teams feature here that basically now lets us assign salespersons into multiple sales teams, where before salespeople were either in one team or another team. Now we actually have the ability to do that and have multiple salespeople in multiple teams. Feature here that is not in Odoo 14, you won't see any rule-based assignment. If I come over here and notice this periodically assign leads based on rules, I can click this, and we have this option here. Sales team will use this default setting unless specified otherwise, and you can pick how often these leads are going to be assigned based upon rules. Find the visits to lead rules. It is right here. So you can click a lead rule here, whether it's active, and have all this different information here about the website, traffic conditions, what industry, and whatever that you would want here. And so this is provided. Notice it says 1 credit is consumed per visit matching the website traffic condition and whose company can be identified. So it's going to be, as it's pulling leads out, it can use these rules to create opportunities for them, but the issue is that you will have to purchase credits in order for that data connectivity and to do those things. So obviously this is certainly not a training program. I can't show you how to use all these features, but I just need to cover them as best you can, and so that you can understand just some of what Odoo is capable of. A great deal of functionality is being added to the inventory adjustments. This is the Odoo 14 inventory adjustments, and you can see the options here and available, and basically how you can scope your adjustments. We jump over into Odoo 15, and you can see here we have a lot more options. Another new feature we'll check out just here real quick is, notice this is Odoo 14. We have storage locations already, so that was in Odoo 14, but if we come over here to Odoo 15, we'll notice that we have storage categories now, where we can categorize our locations, as it says here, for smarter put away rules. So we can have these different categories and different weights, and actually create different rules based on different types of categories. So another nice upgrade, given in a lot of companies you have some pretty complex ways you store things, and having rules that can have it automatically tell where products should be stored. That's very, very powerful. So this is another example of these features that it's easy just to see it on a bullet item and say storage categories. But in some industries, this feature is almost critical to closing gaps. So as I said earlier, a big gap closers in some of these, and that is certainly one of them right there. Another awesome feature is just again, is a game changer for some people in certain industries. The put away rules have been enhanced, a lot more powerful. If we go here and we'll look at Odoo 14, so we can specify product categories and when it arrives, where to store it. But these are real put away rules now, so we can actually have package types. We can have stored a different sub locations. Another just incredible upgrade that has a lot of potential impact is we can now have routes for packagings, as well. And so this one, check the route will be selectable on product packaging. So depending upon which packages now products go in, you can change the routings. And that gives you just another way to conceptualize your workflows and Odoo's push-pull rules. If there's one thing I would tell anyone, it's working with Odoo much, you want to understand the workflow behind Odoo and the push-pull rules and how operation types work. Now we'll look a little bit at the package types. This is Odoo 15's package type. And here it's tying in with the storage categories and capacities. So we can add in here what the storage category would mean, and then like how many the capacity is based up on that category. So the idea is you use categories here: low frequency, medium, high frequency, small, all these different things. We would want the same here, so that would maybe be 12,000 because it's bigger. But the idea is that we now have categories, and the palettes and the package types can be in here as well. And you also notice too that there's actual carrier integration now with the package type that was not included before. So you can see if you jump here to Odoo 14 and then you jump back here to 15, significant back-end improvements inside this inventory system. Another nice little feature that we have a new removal strategy in 15. If we come here to locations and pick a location, in addition to the first in, first out, last in, first out, and the first expiration first out, we now have a closest location removal strategy as well. Another feature that's really nice is a reception report has been added for receiving. So I can click on this reception report and even have it show the reception report automatically when a receipt is validated. So you just change the setting right here. Click here on a receipt and it shows it waiting. We should be able to validate it, apply. And now we get a reception report, shows everything here that's been received, automatically gets pulled up. Pretty slick. Next, we'll get into some accounting. Accounting here. There's e-filing in the US now. So we can come up here under reporting. Reporting. 1099 report. We have a 1099 report now. It'll export a CSV file for everything you need to do to file a e-filing with the IRS in the United States. So it's a really nice addition. Another great new feature is ACH Payments. And so you can go and install this in ACH Payments module. And then when you come in here and go into the accounting application and look at your journals, and then we go to a bank journal here. So you need a bank journal for this, and you can fill in all of the necessary information for a ACH here. And you'll notice that we can add as a payment method now. We have it as one of the defined payment methods. So in addition to manual and checks and manual and checks, we can say ACH. So for example, if we do a payment here and create a payment, not there right here, that this is one of the options as a payment method, and then that way it'll actually create an ACH file that you can use and not have to do manual checks. Very, very nice feature now built into Odoo. All right, so now diving over into HR, some things with like time off still ties in. You're going to tie in the accounting time off of accrual has been added. So this has also been a change here with the dashboard. So this is the Odoo 14 version. You'll notice that in the Odoo 15 it's been redesigned to look a little better. But most importantly, we have now accrual plans. And so under configuration you can set up accrual plans, create new ones. We'll look at this one just so you can get an idea of the screen. And so we can have different rule levels and under different situations in which people accrue time off and rules for that. This is a really nice upgrade, especially PTO, they call it, paid time off, is really common in the US market, where people, when they work, like the amount of time they work and what level they're at will contribute to their time off that they have. And so this is a really nice addition as well that's been included in Odoo 15. All right, next we're going to take a look at the project management application. The projects is significantly improved. So if you're wondering the difference between Odoo 14 and Odoo 15 on projects, most likely I'm going to do videos and lectures and content, my Odoo Essentials, that are specifically on Odoo 15 project, because it has changed that much. So what we want to do is just take a look at some of the main components of this, because it has been significantly enhanced. So first of all, there's a better overview of the projects in general. So this is the Odoo 14 one I'm looking at. And if I jump back over here, this is the Odoo 15, and you can see that it's added time on here and an ability to schedule activities. There's also some really nice new features in the project as well. Now you can actually share projects just by coming up in here and choosing share. Now, so if I choose share here, it's going to give us a way to say whether we want to share it as read only or edit, and we can copy this link and share it with somebody, and or we can even do a send and put people in here and give them actual note and send, and it'll actually send them an email to anybody in this recipient list and share the project with them. That is a big deal from a licensing point, because previous to Odoo 15, in order to have access to all the projects and tasks and everything inside of these projects, you had to be an Odoo user. And that would mean having to have a license under the project. And if you now have clients, you have people you're working with, and they need to use your project management tools, and you're working with project, now you can share that, which that is a big deal, because you won't have to have license for them. You can share it with 100 people. And in consulting businesses, in particular, software development businesses and things like that, that kind of becomes essential, because you can't really afford to have user licenses for every one of your clients. That would be pretty tough. So that's nice. Now another piece of here that's really cool is there's a burn down chart. Now I've heard that people will say, oh, there's a burn down chart in it. And then they won't explain what a burn down chart is. But when you pull up these burn down charts, what these really are is your tasks over time, and how many you have. And so you can see here is our tasks over time, and you can see the dones are going up. And then also we can see here the pink ones, or the orange ones are the new, and then the new ones here. So basically what the idea is that you can see over time how much work you've accomplished and what's left to be done, and those kind of things. So it's a really powerful visual tool. So very nice feature here. That's what a burn down chart does and why you might use it. Another really neat feature is we now have ability to use HTML and stuff inside of blocks. Inside of our tasks. So if I come here to a project and I click on it, if I edit here, down in the description, notice that you can still type anything you want, but instead of like giving you like HTML, like kind of just the old kind of school way of doing it, they now have these basic blocks here. And so all of the things that you can maybe want to insert in are brought up this way. And so I could say big heading, junior architect information goes here, and we can just keep doing this. So every time you type that slash, it'll bring this up. If we wanted like a checklist, step 1, step 2, step 3. So this gives us a lot of flexibility in creating a really rich task description. And what I've said in a lot of my training videos and my Odoo Essentials courses and things like that is 90% of implementing these things are not the software itself, is how you use the software, how for real world business you do it. So this gives you a lot of flexibility in creating a rich task description that will help whoever has to fulfill that task accomplish their objective. So very, very nice upgrade here to project. And then I will also just point out, for sake of people looking at this, that you also now have this favorites idea, or you can mark favorites. That works here as well in this Kanban view. And then of course you can come up here and say filter and just show my favorites, and it'll only show the ones that you've starred. Nice little bit of addition there. There's a lot of little things in project management. I just covered some of the bigger ones here, but this video is already going to be like 40 minutes long, and I'm going through pretty quick on this stuff. And I really now want to get to what I would consider, these are like administration / general like upgrades throughout Odoo that just let you really accomplish some really cool things. So now just one of the neatest ones is you can now do a group by on what they call many-to-many fields in a more technical term, but it basically lets you group by a segment of information that has a lot of different things. So if I come here into like a quotation and I click on one of these, there's going to be a tag area inside of these quotations that let us organize our different orders. So notice here under tags we have information and consulting, and we can have as many tags as we need on here to identify this quotation and organize it. And now what we can do, because we can have multiple tags like that, we can come up under group by, and notice how tags is one of the group bys. It might be there because I've already tested this, but you could find it down here under tags otherwise. And you hit apply, and notice what happens here is now we have these grouped by the tags. Here under product, the S003, and we also have under software S003. So we're able to see the same sales order depending on which tag it's in. And another, it seems small, but if you're working in big companies, you're working with a lot of different information, this feature alone could close a gap for you, make it a little bit better software for whatever your requirement is. Backgrounds and images and watermarks and reports. And we configure our document layout here. We go to this. We'll see now that we can put a watermark or a background onto our document. And so notice it's blank now for the layout background, but I can come in here and I could say geometric like that. And you'll notice it put this little like watermark in the background there, just like their kind of built-in one. But then we can go here to custom and upload a file. I'm just going to pick a little blue background just so we can see how it works, but you'd pick something you'd want. Notice how it just drops that background in there. So you'll have to work with sizing the background image to what it needs to be to where you want it to show on here, but it basically just puts it in the background like that. So it's kind of a nice new little feature there. And so the powerful import features here, what you import data, and it's been completely redesigned. And so I exported some records so it'd be easy to import them back in. I can come up here to favorites and say import records. It's going to ask me, first of all, always to upload a file to start and pick a file. And it's going to load that file in and now bring us to a new type of report. Before it went across horizontally, which became really hard to work with. Now the columns are vertical. I'm also going to comment too that when it's actually importing records now, there's a nice progress bar and it shows exactly where it's at and how many are getting uploaded, and it does it in the background behind batches. So before it was like you just didn't know what was going on behind it, but now there's going to be a lot more informative feedback when you're actually doing imports. Another awesome new feature built in is into their Discuss app. Basically, I consider it kind of part of core Odoo, just the foundation, but it's kind of its own app. And that's you can now start a meeting and do chats like this. So I can hit start a meeting here. Well, they got an error. I'll refresh and try one more time. And it might just be because I'm using a run bot and this isn't configured. Yeah, there's an error here, but if I can at least do it this way, I think. If I come up here and say start a call, it actually uses the microphone. I can say allow. And at this point, I'm on a call, and it does video as well, as you can see, and you have settings and everything. So you got like your little own mini Zoom video conferencing now built in. It does look like the start a meeting thing. Here at least isn't working, and so it might have something to do with this configuration. We would look at this, and I'm certain that it is probably just as much configuration on the run bot. Odoo 15 just came out, and it's not really designed to do meetings, obviously online like this. But it's a great new feature. I've worked with it in other instances, not on this video, and it's worked great. A lot of people are still going to want to use Zoom. A lot of people are going to still want to use Google Hangouts. I don't see it becoming the dominant, video conferencing system. But having it built in Odoo, just really, really a nice new feature. And another just benefit or something that's been added is you can now edit and manage and do things with graphs in Odoo Studio. So you can go in here and actually create and manage graph views and assign them to things. There's just more control in the graph. I haven't explored the Odoo Studio features there as well. I'll probably do another video on that, but that's definitely another feature that has been included now. A couple other odds and ends I'll just mention. One is you can directly send leads to Gmail, so that's kind of a nice one. And there's also some spreadsheet integration now where you can actually have live integrated spreadsheets inside of Odoo. And so there are more things. I'm sure I missed one. Please, like and subscribe. Leave down in the comments if there was a major feature I omitted or something that you really like inside of Odoo 15. With that said, thanks everyone for watching. I really can't wait to hear from you. And Odoo 15 is super exciting. I can't wait to see what everyone does with it.